All right, welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started here tonight and talk about really our last project for the semester, the Ethics in Biotechnology project. So let's take a moment here. Let's just talk a little bit about some review within the lesson, a little bit about the objectives, and then what I'll be looking for in the project. Okay, so the lesson in the project really wants you to make sure that you have a clear understanding and are able to distinguish between classic and molecular biotechnology. Being able, hopefully, after you're done with the project, to identify current and future uses for biotechnology. And then obviously recognize the ethics behind the development and use of biotechnology. So when you're doing this project, keep in mind that, which is what I've tried to allude to all year since we went back to that first project on science versus pseudoscience. Science is used to benefit mankind, but it can also be used as an instrument of oppression in some instances. Okay, so really we need to be cautious and mindful of what we can do as stewards to enhance the benefits and to eliminate the abuses. Okay, so for the benefit of science, our society must be dedicated to a better life for all and not for the accumulation of wealth and power and prestige. Okay, so think about biotechnology being used to enhance things like medicine and agriculture. Okay, your lesson talks a lot about varieties of plants and animals being introduced through processes in biotechnology such as selective breeding. Okay, agricultural crops such as corn. Okay, being used or selectively bred. Okay, animals. Okay, labradoodles, golden doodles, designer dogs are examples of selective breeding and hybridization. Okay, so that's a use of biotechnology to enhance our lifestyle. Okay, moreover, the Human Genome Project back in 2003 was completed and was considered one of the greatest scientific achievements in the history of mankind. Okay, scientists across the world sequenced all of the genes in the human body, and now we have all that information that we can use to transform our medical health. Okay, it can help enhance researchers to find strategies for prevention and treatment of crippling diseases. So with all of that comes the ethical concerns behind the use of biotechnology, and we need to make sure that we are very cautious about our use of biotechnology in the future. So let's take a few minutes. Let's talk about the project here, which is really what the central crux of the question is. In your lesson, it talked about the ethical concerns surrounding genetic research, and it's important to be familiar with them. Okay, so the goal of the project is to write an essay, a persuasive essay about an ethical question in biotechnology. Okay, so what you're going to do is try to convince myself or individuals that you're writing this to agree with you. Okay, it's important in this piece, in this project, to support your opinion with facts. Don't just make broad statements and not have support to back those statements up. Okay, it's not, the essay itself is not a description of your beliefs. Okay, you have to have clear, concise examples and be able to logically build your argument. Okay, so you're going to read the topics below. Okay, you're going to choose one of these topics. Okay, and decide what side you're on. Remember, this is a persuasive essay, so the answer that you give is not right or wrong. You just need to be able to defend your position in this. Okay, it should be about 400 words, and you should have some resources cited in here. Okay, so the three topics: one, should insurance companies have the right to learn the genetic profiles of the people they insure? Okay, so this question is essentially asking if whether your health insurance company has the right to know of every instance where you could have a genetic flaw that could cost them money. Is that right or is that wrong? Okay, and you'll need to be able to argue that. The second topic, should employers have the right to learn the genetic profiles of the people they hire? Are there special considerations for employees in jobs in which there is a high risk to others, such as airline pilots, doctors, or bus drivers? So, again, much like the topic on insurance companies, if you go for a job, do you believe that you should disclose or that employers should have the right to know everything about you from a genetic perspective? And then finally, should scientists who identify genes and create new genetic engineering techniques have the right to patent their methods for their own profit? So again, more of an ethical, a moral and ethical question to ask you. Um, do you believe that scientists who create new techniques have the right to patent this for their own profit and not for the betterment of society? Okay, so you're going to choose one of those three topics and you're going to argue your perspective on those topics using resources from the internet, from your lesson, in about 400 words. Okay, so it's not terribly long, but you need to make sure that you can organize this in, 2 or 3 paragraphs, and logically um, portray your perspective on this. Okay, so if you're having trouble getting started or you need some pointers on a website, I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you get stuck, certainly come into the VO and we can get you pointed in the right direction. So with that, that will be the last project that we'll cover this year. So I will say to you, if you have any questions on any projects leading up into this point, please certainly don't hesitate as we move into the last couple of weeks of the year to come on into the VO and see me. Be more than happy to help you out. And as we move towards the end of the year, I want to take the time to wish you the best in your future endeavors and whatever you do. I wish you success in your academics going forward and have a great summer.